Greetings, dear friends. Happy Monday to you. I trust you had a lovely weekend and looking forward to wrapping up this month of May. Isn't it amazing that how quickly May has gone by? Here we are doing our usual Monday check-in, our mindful motivation for mindset mastery. So before we get into pulling cards, if you've watched these before with me, you know that I like to just kind of riff on the phases of the moon that we are being affected by, because that's one of the key ways to really kind of lift the hood, if you like, and get really in touch with what your emotional guidance is, what's the wisdom that's coming through for you that you can tap into that helps you with this idea of mindset mastery, because that's kind of the underpinning of all of our life purposes, is not only to get clear on what our unique gifts and our flavor is, but share it. This is the thing about know thyself. And a really beautiful tip or tool, I should say, to really knowing yourself is to follow the phases of the moon and to actually see how does it make you feel. So if you've seen me before too, you know that one of my favorite questions that I really encourage you to work with is asking yourself, how does this make me feel about myself? And this being, this idea, this project, this direction, this group of people, this idea, those types of things. And what we're looking for is it makes me feel aligned. It makes me feel on track, in alignment with who I truly am at the core. So why I'm saying this is that the phase of the moon that we are affected by this week is the last quarter phase of the moon that's going to be with us in 3 days' time on the 30th. And it's in the sign of Pisces. So this last quarter phase of the moon is specifically about the seen and the unseen. There's a real magical, mystical essence about this. So it's about really encouraging us to look within and ask that question. How does this make me feel about me? And if there's things like asking that question, sometimes it makes me feel a bit discombobulated or anxious or not on track. So see, can you listen to your intuitive guidance more? This is such an essential piece that when we really get into exploring the depths of who we are, and in doing that, it's so important also to really come into your heart space, because you see, that's why I'm saying use that question. How does this make me feel about myself? It comes from the heart, not your head. Such an important piece to understand that none of us are wired or or intended to make our decisions and choices through our thinking mind. And so that's why it's so important. That's actually part of my life's work, is to help you really get in touch with your intuitive guidance, because that intuitive guidance it's there. The wisdom that you're looking for is here. Good morning, Mort. Lovely to have you here, my dear. Um, so it's about really creating space and time to listen. And when I say listen, that can be getting a feeling, getting an idea, feeling drawn towards something and feeling guided away from something else. These are all about your own balancing propensities. So it's available to all of us. However, it's so important. I've always said that I believe that intuition is like a muscle. We have to keep exercising it. And the more we exercise it and the more we depend upon our own inner wisdom, our own inner guidance, the more we can trust it and the more we see it's always on point. I trust that makes sense. So now I'm going to start pulling cards. I use 4 different decks of cards for these sessions with you. So just feel into that last quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Pisces and just see, how does it make you feel about you? And are there areas where you need to let go of something in order to get that sense of balance, that balance between the seen and the unseen, getting your sense of equilibrium? In order to help you with that, the first card we're going to pull is from my letting go guidance system. So what can we let go of in order to get a wee bit more in flow and in alignment with that? Excellent. Look at this. The one that's come up is obsessing how you look. So obsessing about how you look, that's actually a direct tap to what I just said. Because if we get too caught up on how we look, we are not allowing the depths of the truth of us to be accessed, to be used. What says you're Pisces. Well, isn't that beautifully aligned for you? So follow that. You see, if we get too caught up obsessing how we look, that's head energy. That's not allowing you to just feel, oh, I'm okay. I am as I am. So perhaps if there is any kind of comparing yourself or looking at other people thinking, oh, I need to be like them, or I need to talk like them, act like them, be like them, maybe it's time to put that down. Put that down and start listening to the direction or the guidance that comes from your heart. So letting that go in order to get that sense of balance and ease, peace. Tapping into the ethereal, mystical nature of you. Such an important piece. So now we're going to pull one of the tarot cards, and then we'll do 3 from the Healing with the Angels, and then we'll... Oh, excellent. Oh, I love how the cards are coming today. So what this one is the Hanged One, or the Hanged Man. The Hanging Man, the Hanged One. This is inviting us to stop overthinking, number one. I see that one. But also look at things from a different perspective. So it's such an important part to always remember that sometimes our knee-jerk reaction is not the correct one. And so it's such an important part to just see, is this the right way? And sometimes that sense of equilibrium, that sense of adjustment or shifting is about changing your pace. You know, sometimes we get too caught up in the doing and hustling and pushing and creating more and getting more things done. And maybe you don't. Maybe this piece around the invitation of getting into balance is to take your time, to readjust, to look at your to-do list and remember you are a being and you must attend to your being aspect in order to be that individual that gets to do these things. So how does that feel for you? If I say anything that confuses you or you need a wee bit more guidance or support on in any of these sessions, just let me know. You can put it in the comments below or message me directly, because my idea or my mission with these mindset mastery sessions is to help you really access your inner wisdom and find your best way forward. Find your essence and trust it. That's another really big piece that keeps coming up. Trusting your inner guidance. Now, I've just pulled I love these. I pulled the Healing with the Angel cards. So the first one is focus. Are you the authentic, true, auspicious, awesome aspect? Are you your focus? Or are you looking outward? You see, this thing about balance and ease and flow and connection and compassion, it must start within. So in order to see, if you want to see peace and harmony and connection outside you, in the outer world, then it's so important to do your inner work first. So focusing on your inner work and having a sense of playfulness. Maybe you could bring some of that in this week with this last quarter phase of the moon. Such an important part to remember. This is a game. This game of life is supposed to be fun and an experience that we enjoy, that lights us up. So where's your joy? Where's your sense of play? And perhaps this whole vibe of letting go, this is surrender and release. I love that card with this energy too. The surrender and release is sometimes we feel like we have to work things out. We have to resolve or figure things out or do things, which is maybe not. Remember that I just said that thing about the getting the balance between the being and the doing? That sometimes the surrender and release is if you cannot get the answer, maybe it's not for you to answer at this point, and you surrender it and give it up to your higher self to check in and realign or readjust with your connection with your head, your heart, and your higher self. That's another piece of beautiful alignment. And sometimes, don't know about you, but sometimes I can get a wee bit impatient. And so if I'm feeling like I need to get something resolved, I need to figure something out, but it's not the right timing, then letting it go and focusing on what I can do, right? If you're sitting there saying, I can't do this and can't do this and can't do this, and getting too caught up in that, maybe it's about surrendering and saying, yes, but there's always something I can do. So coming back into that that piece is such an important part too. I trust that makes sense. So I'm just about to send you off on your way into this beautiful week ahead. Like I said, this last week of the month of May. But before I do, I'm going to pull one of my Liberate Your Inner Truth, because that's kind of what we're focusing on, is really getting in touch with and unleashing your truth. Beautiful. Actually, this is very aligned with this moon phase this week too. The card that's come up for us is I am mindful. Mindfulness involves acceptance, meaning that I pay attention to my thoughts and feelings without judging them, without believing that there is a right or wrong, quotation marks, way to think or feel in any given moment. Don't you love that? I already said that. How do I feel about myself? There is never any right way or wrong way. So how do I feel about myself is such a beautiful way to tap into that intelligence that's within you, your inner wisdom, your intuitive nature. It's always there. You need to tap into it and trust it. I wish you a beautiful week ahead. I trust this makes sense. Like I said, if you need any more support or guidance, just let me know. I wish you a beautiful week. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with you next week.